Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. This video is just going to be showing you the process of creating a concrete trench base for a garden house, typically how we do them. So this is something we've done here and there, a few bits and bobs over about maybe a 2-week period. So MJ and young Luke have been down here on a day on their own, and basically they have ripped down this old shed. I'm doing this for a good friend of mine, so I'm sort of squeezing him in here and there, half days and stuff like that when we get a spare day here and there. So they've gone down there and they've ripped this down, and also they broke up the concrete base where the old shed was sitting before. So they've been handling that on their own. MJ's been in charge down there, and yeah, they've done a great job. So they basically broke it down, broke up all the concrete, and then they're gonna shift all this stuff to the front of the house into the skip, and also the rubble and stuff will be collected by a grab truck. So there, the access is quite poor for this house, typical for us. There is no side access. The garden is quite long. You're looking probably about 30 meters or so. I think that's probably about 100 foot, 80 to 100 foot. It's quite a long garden. We're right at the back of the garden, and so there's a lot of shifting to get this stuff out. So me and Mr. A have joined them on one day. I think we come down on an early morning and gave them a hand. We started digging the trenches, and we basically had to do it by hand again. We can't get any machinery into this garden, unfortunately. We looked at getting it through the house, a mini digger through the house, but it is just too complicated. There's too many steps, there's too many turns and so on. It just would have been a nightmare to try it, so we just gave up on that idea. We just said we're going to dig it by hand. So yeah, we managed to do it. We did it in 2 goes, a bit here and a bit there. We came back and finished it off, and yeah, pretty much got it done. So you can see Mr. A is digging it up here. We had a lot of rocky ground here, a lot of rocky ground, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Bad thing for the digging, makes it really hard, but good for the foundation. So this house is going to be 7 by 4. It's going to be an office. It's going to have 4 foot or 4 meter bifold doors, should I say. So most of the front face of it's going to be a door. We're also going to have a skylight in it as well, electrically controlled skylight. I believe it's going to be something like 900 by 900. That's going to be on the roof as well. So that's our lines. That's our concrete truck, and that's our line there going into the house. And that's our truck there, ready to go. So this is now concrete day. This was a very early shift. We managed to get this in before we started work on our other job. So we had an 8 o'clock delivery. I actually had the concrete poured before Mr. A even arrived. So I think I had it poured by about 9 o'clock. The guys were bang on time. Both trucks were on time. It's the first time. I believe it's because we were the first call, so they came straight out to us, 8 o'clock. You can see I've put in some stakes here, which I had to rush and do it while they were setting up because they really caught me off guard. And yeah, then we just pumped it, and within 45 minutes, we were all cleaned up, ready to go. So getting an early pour is a good thing for us because it allows us to sort of knock something like this out real quick in the morning, and then we can shoot off and get on with other works. Because obviously once you pour your concrete, there's nothing else you can do. And when you're using the pump, it's really quick. Some days we just get an early day But this time we got it really early, so I said I'll squeeze it in first thing in the morning, and then we're gonna shoot off back to our job. So as I said, I'll be doing this sort of weekends, 3 days here, half days here, so on and so on. So we sort of yeah, squeezing it in between, mainly because it's a friend sort of doing it, because our schedule is very, very busy, as you guys know. But he's been wanting to do this for quite a while now, so we're going to see if we can get it in before the bad weather sets in. So the concrete guy done most of the work, actually. He was very helpful. Yeah, he pretty much just kept on moving the holes around, and I just made sure that we were hitting our stakes and that we weren't too high or too low in certain areas. And once I spread it out how I want it, then I'll just tamper it down and it was all good to go.
Depends. If I know how much you pumped already.
So basically, how the pump truck works is the machine or the truck that actually supplies the concrete offloads the concrete into the hopper of the other truck, which then pumps it down. So there's always an amount of concrete that's going to be inside the pipe at all times. So what they have to do is they need to calculate when they're getting towards the end of the fill. They got to calculate how much they've got in the pipes, so that when they empty the last bit of the pipes, we don't have too much concrete. So there's no point filling it all the way up to the top, shutting the machine down, and then you've got, you know, 40 meters of pipe full of concrete that you need to get rid of. So basically we're just trying to figure out if he should stop pumping and empty the line, or whether he should add some more. Obviously we pay for the concrete by the cubic meter as well, so we don't want to be paying for more concrete than we need. And also, even worse than that, we don't want to have a cubic meter of concrete that we've got nowhere to put it. But we pretty much worked it out, and I think we were literally spot on. So these guys did a great job. They're really helpful, really knowledgeable what they were doing, and I just sort of let them take the lead on it.
Yeah, I think 4 was probably best.
So these pipes are mega heavy. You can imagine it's full of concrete at the moment. And yeah, he's got to lug it around. So you can see he uses a bit of a strap and uses that to sort of drag and pull it around. Otherwise, you've got no chance of pulling it.
Concrete is poured, nice and level. It's come out really good. Nice mix as well for that concrete, good consistency. You can see, pulled it all the way around. Nice and level as well. We've checked it with the level, tapped it down nicely. It's going to be quite a big house. Looking at it now, 6x4. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to take out some of this soil that we had already dug and just dump that in the front so we can get a truck to come pick that up. And then that's it. Job done. Okay guys, so we just done a little bit more. What we did is we just moved some more soil. You can see all the soil that we dug. Now we're taking it out. That little hump there is actually the garden going up at a slope. We didn't want to disturb that soil and then let it fall into our trench. So we will, because we got to take a little bit more off. Here it's a little bit higher. The garden sort of goes up. But once we put our block work up to DPC, then we will level this down to the layer that we want so that we can get our oversight done. Yeah, so we've managed to do that. So we're ready for the grab truck to come and pick up a ton of material in the front, and this little bit will go in a skip. So that's it for today, guys. We are shooting off. We get an early days, concrete day, early days. So until the next video, we'll see you soon. Take care.